speech? Okay, my headphones were off. Okay, I have no recollection of this. But yeah. The curtains are moving. Isabella is offering us food. Let's take her offer.
Thank you.
The words roll off my tongue, awkward and unfamiliar, far removed from those jests and quips we've shared. Yet she accepts this with a smile and nothing more. Regardless of everything left unsaid, the sight of it brings comfort. More so than any generous offer of food can give. Though we both lapse into silence after, as we both finish our food, there's ease in it. Sup, Bright Bee? How are ya? Hope you're doing well. Though we both lapse into silence after, as we finish our food, there's ease in it. And this and the muffled sounds of Luxembourg filtering into the room. Oh no, is this gonna be a drought and not a tsunami this time? If so, Bright Bee, thank you for the sunshine. It feels bright in here already. And the light streaming from her windows and the faint draft occasionally drifting in, catching the loose tendrils of her hair. And the way her voice falters when she tries to form words. And despite the horror looming over us, I find myself wishing for the minutes to slow, for the seconds to last. But ultimately, she's the one who breaks it, softly, after a minute's pause, in words mumbled under her breath. Sometimes silence compels us to speak.
I've been wondering, before last night, before Mama told me the news. What if Papa passes away, despite everything? That sort of thing. I know it's not good to think about, but...
Sup, Jabin? Hope you're doing well.
I also knew it was getting worse. Mama won't say anything, but I've always known that one day, he'll eventually...
Good luck with work, my dude. She releases a sigh as her grip on her bowl, she still holds tightens. Yo, Luck, how's it going? There are no tears, but she might as well have them with how weak her voice falls. Are there any left? Ooh, have fun, my dude. What are you gonna eat?
I don't know what I'm going to do. Before, I can easily say it's because of Papa. Now, I don't have anything.
You have that scholarship from Lux U.
Were you going through my personal papers while I was sleeping last night?
Look, I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know what that is. The second I read BJ's, I'm like, Kuya BJ? What? What? What is wait, what's a BJ? Wait, now I need to Google this. What is this? What is this mysterious restaurant? So it's a brew house? Oh, it's known for pizza. They make their own root beer? That's cool. Oh, it's Beverly Jean. That's what it means. Question mark? Huh. Interesting. BJ's is an American chain restaurant. They have a variety of food, but I personally get the Parmesan crusted chicken. They also have a dessert called a pizookie, which is a cookie baked with ice cream on it. Okay, I've heard of those. I've heard of pizookies. Surprisingly enough. I can't have most sodas because I can't have high fructose corn syrup, so I love restaurants that make their own. Oh, that's fair. That's fair, Luck. A&W makes their own root beer, and it's pretty good. It uses cane sugar. I want to grab a root beer now. But I might spill it. Nah. I'll treat myself to a root beer after stream.
I don't really have to. You left it sitting in the open, right there on the table.
No, you have not actually, Luck. But we have talked about ice cream. Like there's still anything to hide, she snatches it away from where I've picked it back earlier. Except there's no anger or annoyance in her face when she looks at it, and rereads every line with a pensive expression. After a short while, she folds it neatly along the creases and sets it back.
I don't even know if this will work out.
Well, if it doesn't, what about that exhibit you've been planning with Zach?
Yeah. Like, I think from what I remember, your favorite ice cream is Rocky Road. And we both like cotton candy ice cream. It's still it's the day Rose dies.
Do I even have to ask where you got that?
It's October 31st, yeah.
Zach sucks at lying. You have no idea how easy he is to read. It was all in his face when I asked about it.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, I'm out of it. Apologies. It is. I like it with mini marshmallows.
And anyway, if that doesn't pan out too.
I trail off, hesitating, measuring the weight of my next words. Genuine as they are, as part of me believes they're a burden, too heavy to impose upon her. Because no matter how much I want her to stay, we're not what ties her here. It'll be selfish to ask that of her, more than anything. Her family will always come first. I say it nevertheless, if only to let her know that no matter what her choice will be, there will be people here whose lives her mere presence has changed. Jabin, what do you mean by safely eat, if I may ask? Thank you, I try to keep the cozy vibes, Luck. I hope to keep you company until you has to go and eat dinners. Jabin, thank you for the sunshine, it feels... Well, it's not brighter in here already, but it's the thought that counts. It's warmer in spirit in here already. Lactose intolerant, or it's the sugar? Interesting. Mine most of all.
You.
Oh! Yeah, that works for me, Luck. I look forward to it. Ah.
You have us.
The words startle her to a pause, and slowly she turns to me, her eyes wide, disbelief all over her face. Oh, are we gonna skip Rebecca's death and just go to Ashton confessing to Isabella? If so, that's kind of messed up. Oh, I hope she arrives home safe, Luck. I was about to say, ice cream has high fructose corn syrup in it, but then I realized America puts it in everything. And I suddenly feel bad for you, Javen. How do you eat outside? How do you eat outside food? But before regret forces an apology up my throat, her expression dissolves into something I can't quite place. Nice! You deserve the break, Javen. I'm glad you have less on your plate now. Something distinctively softer, more tender, familiar. Almost in the same manner she glanced at me years ago. The day at the bridge. Ah, that makes sense. Shame to hear, my dude. I hope you learn how to cook more dishes so that you can have a more varied diet. However, I don't get the chance to figure out what it all means for her. All of a sudden, a knock breaks the moment, and just as fast, both our attention shifts towards the source. Before things can get awkward fast, I stand up to open the door while muttering some flimsy excuse in the process. I'm curious, what restaurants can you eat at, my dude?
I'll get that. It's probably Zach or Rebecca.
Ow! Really, I know we're in a pinch, but their timing can't get any worse. Unrelated frustrations aside, once I fling the door open, a whole chunk of stone that has been stuck at the pit of my stomach simultaneously unseats itself. Ah, that's fair, J-Vent. That is oddly specific. Huh. Okay, that is fascinating. Damn. Okay. There in the hallway stands Zach, his hand raised, ready for another knock. Although he's not at his most presentable at the moment, ruffled and drenched with sweat he is, relief quickly washes over me like a tide. Huh. That's fascinating. I can't believe I'm saying this, but good on McDonald's. He's still panting when he pushes me aside and heads in. The second his feet cross the threshold, he scans the place, eyeing what little he can see of the room from the doorway. When finds none of whatever he's looking for, he turns to me with a questioning look, one that has a hint of panic in it.
You said it was urgent. Did anything happen? Is it Becca? Bella?
Everyone's fine.
Yeah, Ashton, everyone is fine. Twirls hair innocently. But yeah, that's 100% fair, J-Vent.
Well, Becca's not here. She went somewhere this morning and hasn't answered any of my calls yet. But Isabella's...
Yeah, Becca's not here in this room. Totally not here in this plane of existence. Yeah, Zach is apparently. Okay, so they all hear about what's about to happen, assuming that's when the call's gonna happen. Oh no, her death is gonna hit everyone at once. That's oof. I messed up bad.
I'm here, Zach. Morning.
I didn't kill off a character who's amazing and I love, and she may or may not have some important information that we needed on the ghost. Why? I would never! His weight shifts at the same time. The stiff line in his shoulder eases. Once Isabella walks up to us and welcomes him with a smile. He relaxes then, returning her greeting in kind, as soon as he has let out the breath he has been holding and the tension's finally off his body.
So, nothing's wrong? Why'd you call me here for then?
My explanation can wait. He has a lot of explaining to do. The fact that he went to asylum alone, for some godforsaken reason, warrants a proper one. Ghost or not, he's already been given a warning. It frustrates me to no end that this might be the plan he mentioned the last time we spoke. I get that he's worried about Hannah Wright. Somehow they've become friends, but that's not the issue here. Not when there's a murderous ghost who might go after one of us at any given time. Ho! Funny you should mention that, sir. Sure, Zach made it here in one piece, but by some dumb luck, he's alright, and this takes one off the list of people I need to worry about. Frankly, as annoyed as I am, I can't just stay angry at him when I look at the situation that way. Hell, if that call didn't connect in the exact minute, there might have been a chance he won't be standing here. This is a blessing in and itself. That's true, I could have killed Zach. Though first things first, some things still need to be discussed. We're gonna make Ash a soft boy. He's gonna say that he's okay. Cause Zach's a good boy. He doesn't need to be, reprimanded for being stupid. He just has puppy energy. Okay, it went up. Except when I open my mouth, the only thing that spills from it is my own relief. Despite myself, despite the rational part of my brain screaming everything wrong about Zach's neat little plan, we've had so many close calls within just a single night. Zach showing up in Isabella's doorstep alive, whole and unharmed. I'm just tired, man. I don't have the energy to fight the Scott woman on her fondness for Ash. I might as well take comfort in that while I still can.
You're okay.
And bold of you to assume that I like Ash. He's still stinky.
You did tell me not to do anything stupid.
I needed to tell him to eat. Suddenly, the whole room feels too heavy, and all I am able to do is drop down on the couch. Speaking of, did any of you guys eat? I know Luck is waiting on dinner. A headache also threatens to burst in the same moment, or perhaps this is what release from anxiety feels like. I've never felt a headache before, is that why I'm always anxious? Is this why I've never felt the relief? That is true, you're technically waiting on dinner. That's true. Oh, what type of food, J-Ben? Good on your workplace for feeding you. Proud of them. Regardless, I reach up a hand in to pinch the bridge of my nose, even if it'll likely do nothing to alleviate the impending pain.
Christ, you were right there! We have this stupid curse thing going on, and you were right there!
Ashton said it was a relief from anxiety, dude. I don't know, man. Points? J-Ben, my deepest apologies. I do not... Points bad. Oh, okay. Oh no, you're not a good noodle? Did you lose stars on the noodle board? Should we make a noodle board? Well, Ashton is a fool trying to be overdramatic. Fair.
You just walked up inside a private property!
He is a dramatic boy.
Those people can easily sue you for breaking and entering, and that's the least of it.
But yeah, having a point system at work, it almost sounds like a school. Reminds me of elementary school, if anything.
I know, Ash. But I can't just leave things as they are. I've got to do something.
Doesn't that have corn syrup in it? Javen? Like Reese's, they're great. Don't get me wrong, but with the new information I have on you... Oh, wow! Okay. Damn! Good on Reese's. No wonder they taste good.
God damn it, Zach, I was worried.
Unexpectedly, he laughed. Not the half-hearted sort he makes when he's awkward or coming up with an excuse. Ah, noted. Oh, yep. Not surprised. Only home-baked cookies for you, I'm guessing. A genuine one. I don't get why they use so many artificial sweeteners in so many things. Please just use sugar. But then again, here in Canada, I don't know if it happened in the US, where there's currently a strike on brown sugar right now. So yeah, we have no brown sugar for the holidays. Like it's sold out everywhere. Yeah, it is cheaper, but still makes me sad, man. This is why bottled Coke and canned Coke taste different. Cause bottled Coke uses cane sugar, while canned Coke uses the corn syrup. Nah, it's cool, my dude. I honestly don't need it. Plus, if I just have molasses and white sugar, I should be able to make my own. Before my annoyance grows again and I snap at him, though he suddenly catches me in a headlock. His arms looping around my neck while he grinds his knuckles against my skull. Hello, 13. How are you? Helpless, I squirm under his grip and protests. Even then, it's hard to do so when you're up against a 6-footer.
Zach!
Aw, he's worried. Why didn't you say so? That cool act ain't gonna fool me anymore.
Good to hear that you're good, 13.
Let go!
Nah, bro. I'd rather have a stuffed animal. I don't want to become a baking machine right now. Fair enough, 13. Do what you need to do. He relents soon enough, though only after he's done ample damage in my hair. I hate it when he does that. But a few moments there, the tense mood finally lightened up and everything felt like how it used to before this whole mess began. Makes appreciating little moments like this easier. Still.
Seriously, Zach. Why are you even there?
Told you already. I was looking for you.
Why would I even go there?
Well, you mentioned a plan with Isabella here. I assume that's where you guys went, since that's where she found the letter. Sorry. I was really at a dead end.
The logic in it stuns me into silence, to say the least. Then I remember his hesitance, the tone he has taken before agreeing to go here, and all at once, my anger that from what he's done wanes. Partly, this is my fault for keeping things vague. I can't berate him for assuming that, when I've only left him with vague answers. Ooh, if we got Zach to die, we could have guilted Ash.
You could have called me.
I did.
I didn't receive any, and my phone was with me.
You're kidding, right? I was at it the whole night.
The whole atmosphere in the room changes in 2 heartbeats. Back again to the tension-riddled one plaguing us. Zachary stares at me like I've grown another head, then gradually he shifts his attention to Isabella. The expression in his eyes, questioning, asking for confirmation like my word can't be trusted, not that I'm holding it against him. I can't even believe the things coming out of my mouth these past few hours. Meanwhile, Isabella stays quiet, like, has been like that for quite some time. She looks like she wants to disappear right now. Guilt, frustration, anger, fear, all of flashes fleetingly across her face before it melts away under an expression of worry.
Please tell me he's joking. You were there?
No, we really didn't get any. Everything was quiet last night.
Yeah, they were able to have a moment together.
But Zach, at BRC, Ashton and I saw...
Dun 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 dun, not the numbers.
It hurts. The ghost be deleting and creating voicemails. Ghostmails. How out of it are you? Ghosts and ghostmails, not voicemails, you fool. Yeah, people don't really know what plants sound like, so it's gotta be a redeem, bro. I need to spread awareness to what plants sound like. She also makes phone calls. She never gets to finish that.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out.
Oh
Can't beat me.
no!
Looking for trouble? Better not
I know
lie.
what this
I'm a cool
is.
dude. Pretty
Pretty
fly for an Asian guy.
Okay.
Sup,
Abruptly,
I'm
my
Ash from
phone rings
Deluxe
again,
City. Baggers,
blaring
watch out.
its badly
Can't beat me.
sang
Looking for
ringtone throughout the
trouble?
whole.
Better not lie. I'm
He-
a cool dude.
he-
Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Okay, he
Sup, I'm Ash
admits
from
that it's
Deluxe
badly
City.
sang.
Baggers, watch
I'm
out.
proud of him.
Can't beat me. Looking for trouble?
Both of them
Better
pauses
not lie.
waiting when
I'm
I
a
pull
cool
out to
dude.
check the
Pretty
caller
fly
ID.
It's
for an
Becca.
Asian guy.
I'll tell her to get here as soon as she can. Excuse me.
Baggers, watch
Oh,
out.
no.
Can't beat me. Looking for trouble?
Without another
Better not
word, I
lie.
slip out of the
I'm a
room and
cool
answer
dude.
the
Pretty
call,
fly for an
however.
Asian guy.
Oh
Sup,
wait,
I'm
because
Ash
the
from
ghost can
Deluxe
mess
City.
with
Baggers, watch
can
out.
mess with
Can't
calls.
beat me.
Does she
Looking for trouble?
does the ghost
Better
even let
not
Becca
lie.
say
I'm a
her
cool
little
dude.
story
Pretty fly for an
to
Asian guy.
Ash? Oh no. However, the tone she assumes isn't what I'm hoping to hear.
Becca?
GG, bros.
Hey, did I wake you up?
Ragged, a bit out of breath, there's a tinge of urgency in it. Listening to her from my side of the line makes it seem like she has just run a marathon prior to this call. Oh, bro, she did.
No, I left you a voicemail, so I thought, where are you?
Ash, do you remember that one time?
The question catches me off, to say the least. Where is she going with this?
The what?
Back in secondary. We joined a contest back then, didn't we? We had to dress you up as a girl and...
No.
What? You looked really pretty. I think I still have that picture somewhere.
Burn it. We're not talking about that again. You promised.
It did happen. Not a memory I'm very fond of, to be honest. Still, a laughter escapes me, no matter how embarrassing it is. That moment is one of the few I can remember clearly in my head. I never did find where she kept those photographs.
Seriously, what brought this on?
Nothing. It's just the first thing I remembered.
Is he gonna hear her go splat?
You're being weird today, Becca. Whatever. Listen, I need you to go home right away. I'm at Salem Well right now and...
Thanks, Ash.
What? Suddenly, her voice hitches, almost as if she's in tears, and it sends every alarm bell ringing in my head. For better or for worse, something more than wrong is happening on her end of the line. Regardless, I give her the focus she asks of me. I don't want to think that she is nearly pleading for me to listen. I'd like to imagine that this isn't that it isn't horror and a deep underlining resignation that I hear in her voice. I'm transfixed.
Hold on, did I do something?
For everything.
Rebecca, what?
I'm so glad to have known you.
Wait, what are you...
Whatever her words mean or feelings, they carry creases no matter in this instance. Oh, they carry ceases to matter in this instance. They're all inconsequential when someone, Rebecca's life, might be in danger. This whole thing isn't just wrong. Wherever she is, something fucked up is going on, and I'm listening to it right now, helpless.
God damn it, Rebecca, where are you?
Okay, he doesn't hear it. Oh, the ghost did it purposely! Okay, so the ghost, like, sappy, sad moments, noted. A laughter and then the line drops dead.
Becca? Rebecca!
Oh, that's worse! That's worse than hearing her die. Ooh. Dread turns into terror and the sudden commotion from Isabella's room comes rushing in all at once. Zach's worried whispers, Isabella's anxious pleas, and the television broadcasting some news about a jumper all over the city. There's a split second where I'm torn between trying to figure out where Becca is and finding out what happened to inspire such chaos all of a sudden. He gets to watch it he gets to watch it on the news. I feel like this is worse. Then Isabella's horrified scream tears above everything and nothing else matters. Spurred on by a cold gut feeling, I rush back inside, only to bump into Isabella. The impact causes her to stumble back. It takes a whole 2 breaths for her to steady herself. Shaking, she braces both her hands against my arms, gripping my jacket tightly as if it's the only thing keeping from breaking. Though even then, there's weakness to her movements, her breathing labored.
Oh, bye, look.
This is horrible timing, but look. I hope you have a wonderful day. We're certainly on for a ride. Any minute, it seems like her knees will suddenly buckle if I don't keep a firm hand on her shoulders. Yet it all shatters when she glances up at me. Tears stream down her cheeks, panicked, desperate, her voice bringing with anguish when she speaks.
Ash, we need to get out of here. We can still save her.
Nah, girl. You ain't the Flash. You ain't saving her.
Save who?
Despite the question, a cold and cruel voice whispers in my head. You're too late. I want to believe it isn't. I hope and wish it wasn't who I think it is. Because I don't want to be someone who has been so useless in that exact moment, paralyzed by dread when I heard her speak. I knew something was off. God damn it! I don't want to think it might have been her final words I'm listening to. But the horrifying possibility that what I dread is real drowns out everything else. Especially with the next words that tumbles out of Isabella's lips.
Ash! Rebecca's! We have to help her! We can't just let her die like that!
Without warning, her knees buckle. Stunned, I've no choice but to go with her. She slumps weakly on the floor, her face sinking into my shoulder, as furious tears flow from her eyes. At the sound of her sobs alone, everything around us fades. Every sound, every movement becomes nothing but noise. Even Zach's somber expression doesn't completely register, until I glance up at him, with a heap of questions in my eyes.
Zach, what does she...
He merely looks away, not to avoid my gaze, but to lead it towards the television, still blasting the same news from earlier. A live broadcast. Oh my god, he's watching it live! Oh no! The second my eyes land on the screen, understanding dawns on me. I'm useless. Achievement unlock, fall from grace. Breaking news, woman jumps to her death from Luxembourg's public library rooftop. Oh, and you can actually see her outfit and her hair. Becca. I'll recognize her anywhere. I can make out her form, even from the way the station has blurred out her image on the TV. And for once, that isn't a welcome fact. Too clear, too vivid, her body broken lies on the sidewalk in just one big bloody mess. Her hair fans out and stands out in stark contrast to the pavement, slick with blood and redder than it's ever been. The right side of her head is caved in from the impact, and her right arm is twisted and mangled. Right? Damn, they didn't even bother talking her down or anything. They just went, okay, take out the cameras, we got a jumper. And there are those words again around her. Help me. Just like the letter.
Medical personnel are on their way. Officers have resumed securing the immediate area for investigation and cleanup.
Gone.
Others have been dispatched for crowd control.
She's gone. And I wasn't able to do a damn thing about it. To flip the reporters. Honestly, bro, I wouldn't be surprised with how fast they responded to the scene. Even now, I can't do anything other than stare at the tragedy playing out in front of us, and I hold on to Isabella like a lifeline as she does with me. Can't even bring myself to move because no matter what I say or what I do right now, Empty words won't bring back the friend we all lost. Numb is an understatement. No, I feel dead inside. We all do. In the end, I can only scream. I was actually hoping for an Ash scream right there. Oh, it's Miss Gales. It's Rebecca's mom. Death notifications is a task I avoid like the plague. Although I've known Rebecca since childhood, there are plenty of reasons why I shouldn't be the one breaking the bad news to her parents. One protocol states you're always supposed to do this in person. 2, protocol also states you're supposed to do this with a partner. And 3, I've never been good with words. And here I am, unceremoniously thrusted into the task, all because there's no one. As expected, everything goes as well as my blunt mouth can take. Miss Gales relentlessly sobs echo loudly through the receiver when I finish informing them, while all I can say before ending the call is an empty,
I'm really sorry, Mrs. Gales.
before ending the call with a click and heading back inside Isabella's apartment. Her mom's voice still ring in my ears, even as I leave it in the hallway behind me. Here, though, Isabella's cries have already faded into soft whimpers, and sometime while talking to Rebecca's family, she has fallen asleep. Now she lays still, curled up under her blanket. In the nearby couch, Zack sits silently, and simply gives an acknowledging nod when I pass by. Wordlessly, I take the empty space on the edge of the bed. Despite how peaceful all this seems, the gravity of that news has hit all of us hard. It's in the dense air now lingering in the room. It's in Zack's shoulder while he tries to make himself look smaller against the couch. Most of all, it's in the furrow between Isabella's brows. Gently, I reach out to smoothen it out. She reacts with nothing but a sigh before turning on her back and burying herself further under the sheets. At the same time, Zack also shifts. He leans forward, hands clasped tightly in front of him, as a pensive expression comes over his eyes. A long minute passes while he sits like this before he speaks and glances up at me.
Were you able to tell her family?
Yeah. It was bad. She was their only child, and...
I'm sorry, Ash.
Don't. You did what you could. I was the stubborn one. I was the one who didn't listen. She kept telling me. If only I'd listened to you. If only I listened to Isabella. She'd probably still be...
alive. Becca's the last person I need to account for, damn it. Ash is here, Isabella's here. Where did it go wrong with her?
What do we do now, Ash?
Unable to offer an answer, I avert my gaze. How many more close calls do we have to go through? How many deaths do we have to witness? How long can we keep this up? We're bound to break at one point. No normal human being with a sane mind can last like this, losing people important to them, one by one, right in front of them. It's a miracle Isabella hasn't cracked yet. She, out of all of us, carry a much deeper attachment with the people she loves, no matter how much little time she spent with them. After all, she was the one who found that letter. I've expected her to have caved by now, her voice surprisingly calm and composed in the face of this is what suddenly cuts through the thick air.
We can't let that woman, that thing, take more people from us.
How do you kill a ghost?
I'm not going to lose both of you to her.
Her bed creaks, dips when she pushes herself off it, and takes the empty seat next to Zack. Quietly, she begins gathering every paper from the BRC and starts laying them out on the table. Once done, she glances briefly at the both of us, a sharp, determined one, then goes straight down to business without another pause. With what happened, we have no choice but to follow her lead. Although there's some tense fumbling with for words at first, the whole conversation gained some steam. What we found last night at BRC's has been put on the table. Not that I know of. All at once, everything we've brushed off, carelessly ignored, and rudely dismissed have been laid out for close scrutiny. Zach's encounter with a woman in his dreams, Rebecca's close brushes with death every time she appears, and the dread and the terror she brings out even in the bravest of us. Everything. Because no matter how bleak this all seems, there still must be a way out of this. There has to be logic. Wait, there has to be. Logic be damned. Or at least that's what Isabella and I would like to believe. Yet, even as the cold morning light shifts to the warm hues of late afternoon and eventually night, none of this still makes a fucking damn sense. Darkness has fallen, but we're still nowhere near figuring things out. If anything, we're more at a loss than we've ever been before we even started this. The next thing I know, frustration rears its ugly head and the sheets of paper I've been holding smacks the table harder than I've intended. The sound of it echoes loudly in the small room, and everyone simply falls silent. Along with it is the release of another long-held breath. Perhaps the 100th since this morning.
We aren't getting anywhere at this rate.
Don't just drop it. There must be something in this we aren't seeing yet.
Ash, please. Rebecca wouldn't want us to give up on this.
It's an odd thing to hear from her, the very words I've been telling myself every single time I find myself facing a dead end. We can use a little of the optimism right now, I guess. Isabella's right on the other point as well. Rebecca would definitely give me an earful herself if she was still here. She had a knack for being brutally honest with her opinions. We had often clashed at times, yet I still respected her for it. Her opinion was as valuable as every other person I've let into my life. I can't lose another person like that.
I know, but what are we supposed to be looking at here in the first place?
Well, we already looked through those files. You're the one that picked them out last night, right?
All of them? I'm pretty sure every person we've checked in there isn't necessarily involved. One client possibly died of old age. Remember, you found that dumb paper.
Not so dumb if it can kill all of us.
Oops.
Not a good time for a joke, Z-Man.
Sorry.
It's okay, Zach.
Anyway, like I said, you discovered that paper right before the open house. No one else was allowed inside during that time. It's too broad of a scope if we include every single person. In fact, the only notable ones are C and Jean Marie.
But if we're going to include them in the count, shouldn't there have been more than enough people to end this fucking curse already? How does this thing even work?
Yeah, okay. They went in and out of this place. But no, you still don't get it. What I'm trying to say about those clients is...
Maybe there's more than one of it. Even my friend, the priest from the cathedral. He's been acting strangely.
Father Norman? Him too?
Yeah, I visited him a few days ago. He was hysterical. They think he's sick, but I have a feeling what might the real cause be.
I knew it. I shouldn't have asked for his help.
He was only trying to help too. It's not your fault. There might be more than one of that paper going around that we don't know about. More to this.
He has a point, but there's a lot of gap to that in that logic. Somehow, even with this information in hand, it still feels like there's something we're overlooking. All we have to go with is the letter and all this stuff selfish people have been keeping from the public. But what else? Where this all started? The Ermengarde mansion? Will the letter bring back Will bringing the letter back there fix everything? Fuck. How do I... The mansion's a private property now. Can't just waltz in there. I'd rather die before I even think of begging Wright to let me in and investigate the place. One thing's very clear after these last 2 days, however. We're not safe anywhere, and I have to act fast if I want to keep my friends alive. We can't keep running away. Sooner or later, she'll get us like she did with Rebecca. Before that happens, I have to put an end to this. Sighing, I stand up and stretch out the kinks in my back after several hours of sitting. We've been at this for too long. A break is needed. Time to let everything to sink in, or else we'll all burn out. I know I will, and it's another thing I cannot let happen when they're all counting on me like this. A bit unspoken, it's in their eyes as they look up at me, waiting.
We've been at this since morning. We should take a break for a few...
The rest of it never makes it out of my mouth, as something heavy and grating sounds from the far end of the room. A harsh booming noise rendering through the eardrums of everyone in the room. At once, the two of them are on their feet, while I quickly palm for my gun on the table. However, before I can pull it up and remove the safety, the whole racket stops. Stillness descends in the room, and amidst the sudden hush, the three of us exchange anxious glances. Yo, I'm gonna turn off my aircon. It's snowing out. It's negative 40, not 44. It's cold, and I'm sleepy. What do you do to relax when you can't sleep? I watch and play horror games. What do you guys do? Whee! Stillness descends in the room, and amidst the sudden hush, the three of us exchange anxious glances. So much for a break.
I don't like the sound of that. At all.
Same.
Gather everything.
No questions asked. They waste no time getting to work, piling up the documents we've been reading through. Even Isabella's unusually silent as she gathers everything in her arms, her own movements sharp and precise, a deep furrow in her brow. That's fear, but something hardened and urgent overshadows it. But the moment doesn't last. Before we can even finish, another noise ups the tension already gripping the place. Suddenly, the lights go out and the wardrobe at the end of the room rattles, as if something inside begs for freedom. Turtle crisis! Save him! Cautiously, eyes glued to it, I take a step forward and release the lock from my gun. I'm no trigger-happy person. I'm not even sure if this will work on a ghost. But right now, it smooths the surface against my palm, but the trigger on my finger provides the closest thing I have to relief as I approach the closet. Oh god. The game is much louder than I am. Holy shit.
Ashton, what are you doing?
I don't think that's a good idea. We should just...
Worried as they both are, they immediately stop at the sight of my raised hand. But the edge is there while they're all huddled in the space between the door and the room. In case this goes south, whatever I find inside, they have enough time and space to run from their position. In 2 deep breaths, I've crossed the room and stood in front of their closet. Whatever is inside has yet to stop thrashing. Instead, it has now moved to banging at the door, louder and louder the longer I dally. Another shallow breath. Jesus Christ, it's so loud. Ah! I glance at my companions. A nod. Something creaks. Then, in the next moment, I'm grasping at the handles and swinging the doors wide open to reveal nothing. Right away, I part the clothes hanging on it, and still none. No ghosts. No woman. Not a single trace of whoever's inside. Confused, I glance back towards Zack and Isabella, who only seem to be mirroring the same expression on my face. The noise has finally stopped, but I'm not quite sure if it's my imagination. Or maybe it is, and I'm just too strung up that my head's now making things up. Whatever the case is, we need to get out of here as soon as possible. This only confirms that we're not safe anywhere. Without bothering to close it, I move back, ready to leave, adrenaline now coursing through every vein in my body. In the next second, I'm barking orders and...
We should go. You two, we need to... Ah!
I'm sent sprawling on my back as something cold catches my ankle and yanks. The resulting fall knocks the wind out of me. Pain racks my whole spine and the back of my head as it collides against the floor, with force eroding enough to dislodge my own brain from my skull. A moment lasts before stars fade from my vision, and then I sense it. Cold tendrils twisting around my ankles, the smell of vile rot assaulting my nose. Nauseating, sickening, a foul smell draining every feeling in my body. The moment her horrid laughter, still as pleasant and vicious as the last time I've heard it, reaches my ears, my eyes snap open. Perhaps it's just inexperience. Or maybe my mind's still attempting to comprehend this. Regardless, the minute my eyes land on her, the whole of my body freezes. The gun in my hand turns useless as my grip on it slackens. It's in the manner her gaze bores into me, on me. I'll say, the look of utter hatred and malice. I've seen it loads of times. From suspects, mostly murderers, who never regretted their actions, despite being caught. This is the face of someone you can no longer reason with. And I know the moment she laughs again and starts dragging me towards her, it's already going to be the...
Ashton! Snap out of it!
Kick her! No. I can't die here. Not yet. The haze fades from my mind and instinct kicks in that in there.
Everyone out! Get out! Get out of here!
With one powerful tug, I yank my foot out of her grip and scramble back to my feet, ignoring the piercing wails she fills with the room with. Within the span of a second, I'm gunning for the door, grabbing the wrist of the first person my hand can reach, leading the two of them out. Into the hallway, down the flight of steps, right inside my car. I waste no time flooring on the gas pedal the second the last person closes the door behind them, and in a short while I'm driving us out of Salemwell. I don't even entertain the thought of winding down just yet, even as the last of the woman's painful cries fade into the night. It's Halloween! A dreary downpour starts off the Monday. Although it doesn't last for more than an hour, the dark clouds lift just after the sun peaks over the horizon. Brief as it is, the rain has significantly dampened the park's usually cheery vibe. Mornings like this often mark the start of another bad week. An arrest gone wrong, another investigation leading to a dead end, or some truly fucked up shit being called in. Like the one time I was dispatched to a scene where a guy gouged out his own eyeball. Gouged his own eyeball out and almost ate it. Was a few chews away from swallowing it. In fact, I've lost my dinner that day.
Fun times.
Of course, I doubt anything can top getting cursed by that damned chain letter of all things. This is the sort of stupid thing people pass along as a prank, through emails and text messages, for fuck's sake. A ghost chasing after you just puts the icing on the cake. So far, all we've done is run, snoop about, read stuff, and run again. It frustrates me to no end how we're still no closer to an answer. Even my car reflects the state of my mind is in. Photocopies of documents litter every available surface, scattered all over the place, spilling from the passenger side and into the back seat, making an entire mess of what little space there is. Not that I'm any better. My last shower was 24 hours ago. I haven't slept at all, and my last meal was that chocolate porridge thing Isabella offered. The way I am now, I'll definitely get a scolding. If Becca were here, she'd give me an earful and tell me to take care of myself better. Say that I'm killing myself on the job. I can already hear Isabella complaining how dark the bags under my eyes are getting, and how I reek, and how I need to shower pronto.
I can rest easy when this is all over.
It's not that I can't feel the pang of hunger. With that woman chasing after you, it's difficult not to feel anything other than horror. The rush of adrenaline coursing through my veins in my desperation to survive. In fact, I can still sense the ghost of her touch from last night. Ghost of her touch because she's a ghost. Get it? Her bony digits wound tightly around my ankle, and that horrid smile she has on her as she pulls me closer. The memory is enough to send a shiver up my spine and make me antsy. Perhaps the only thing comforting about this is the sight of my gun nearby. From my dashboard, sunlight glints off Ophelia's surface. Normally, I keep it hidden in a compartment. Luxembourg police regulation only allows authorized people to carry firearms, and even those are limited. I do have that authorization, but I never really saw the need for its use when the standard issue tasers are more than good enough to incapacitate anyone. If not, I can always throw them on their back. Those judo lessons Dad forced me to get as a kid has its uses too. On a ghost, though, all of those will probably yield the same result. They're all useless. I might as well use a stick. However, it's the feeling of ease I'm after, or what little of it I can gather from it. The awareness that I at least have something to protect myself with, in case things go wrong. That I can still protect the people who are still depending on me despite the missteps I've taken. It doesn't take the edge off, though. The feeling that your whole body has been strained far beyond its capacity. Frankly, I'm already running out of steam. The only thing pushing me right now is knowing that someone's still depending on me. A stretch is still in order, though. I've been sitting here since last night. Soon as I step out from my car, closing it behind me with a thud as I take in my surroundings. The rain did wonders. The morning air feels crisper and cooler than it has ever been in days. For once, the weather seems to be taking a turn for the normal. Luxembourg normal is in the distance. Beyond the buildings lining the horizon, dark clouds are blowing in.
A storm might be due this evening, give or take.
A shame for the people looking forward to Halloween tonight. I'm just not sure whether this is something I can look forward to as well. Still, I bask in the change it brings. Inhale, exhale, breathing in and taking in the peace, as if it'll be my last. But as with all the good things, the quiet shortly comes to an end. Not necessarily a bad end. The chatter reaches my ears first, halting my movements. Sure enough, when I glance up, I find them. Zach and Isabella, just as they've entered the park grounds, bags of convenience store food in hand. After last night's flight from Samwell, we've exited to stay the night here, unsure if our own homes will still be safe. Normally, we'd all be adverse to the idea of spending the night outside like this, But panic and distress has tainted that decision. It's not like any of us has gotten an ounce of sleep anyway. On the off chance one of us did, it only lasted but its second. Or, it's a fitful one. But looking at them now from afar, it's easy to mistake them for just friends on a day out. Isabella's gesturing wildly with her arms as she talks. Something funny or amusing probably, because it's soon followed by Zach's booming laughter. Their voices fill the atmosphere with light air, temporarily easing off the disheartening mood. It's easy to pretend we're not knee-deep in a life-and-death situation, the way they're acting now. Easy to forget we've lost someone. If anything, it's only their appearance that betrays that mask. Slightly disheveled, bags under their eyes, an exhausted curve in their shoulders, and dragging footsteps. But the closer they get, the more obvious these signs are to the naked eye. Zach tosses an energy drink my way the moment the distance allows it. Isabella hands me the other bag she's holding before seating herself on the edge of the fountain. The scent of warm food immediately wafts from the bag when I open it, carried further by a passing breeze. Whatever sweet sauce they drizzled over this pork wannabe, it smells heavenly. Hell, even the sorry-looking vegetables seem appetizing. Despite myself, without even checking exactly what it is, hunger swiftly takes over every rational thought. I dig in without waiting for them to start. Both of them appear to be the same mind, too. Soon enough, they also start with theirs. No casual talk while we fill our empty stomachs. Exhausted as we all are, food is something we can't forego. Starvation dulls the thinking, weakens the body. If we are able to survive this, we're gonna have to take care of ourselves first. I know that's what Rebecca would do. In a matter of minutes, we're done and dumping the empty cartons on a nearby waste bin. Along with it is the shift in the mood. Back to dismal. Back to the problem at hand. The comfortable atmosphere from minutes ago was nice while it lasted. Admittedly, I've missed these kinds of moments between us. We never had the chance, always busy on some project or work. The things we've taken for granted. Now we're realizing how valuable they are. With one of us gone, the world has an awful sense of humor. While the one we've just had is short-lived, it's another thing I want to look forward to. If we were ever to free ourselves from this damn curse, I'd like to believe there's a way. For now, we have to focus on the present. This. Dead people. The letter. The curse. It's not simple to bring these up, but necessary.
What now? Where do we go from here?
It's not a question directed at anyone in particular, but they all look at me, as if my face has all the answers in the world. I used to think so, back when I was at the top of my game, and I'm still sure of everything. Now there's just uncertainty sullying whatever decision I come up with. At some point, logic simply stopped working here, and we've started grasping at straws. Along with exhaustion, fatigue, and stress, we have enough kindling to get a fire burning. The not so pleasant kind of fire.
I think it's clear. We can't just stay here.
But we can't just keep running like this either, Zach. Sooner or later, she'll...
We don't really have a choice, Bella. We can't even go back to our own homes. No matter where we go or hide, she's gonna get us.
You're giving up again.
I ain't! I'm just being realistic. Nowhere's safe. Even if dying's the last thing I want to do right now, I can tell there is no way that woman's...
This is just like your movie all over again.
This and that are two different things, Bella.
He's right.
And you know what? Right now, I'd rather see my movie flop twice over than go through this.
Just because this whole thing doesn't look good, doesn't mean there isn't a way out. Zach, I know Rebecca wouldn't...
Rebecca's gone, Bella. And if what happened last night didn't tell you how bad,
I know that! You don't have to keep reminding me. Do you really think I don't blame myself for everything?
nobody's telling you to think that way!
No, but you might as well just say it. Even if no one else does. I know everyone thinks this is...
All right, that's enough! Both of you, stop this!
They both falter to silence at my words, and an awkward, stifling mood descends between the three of us. I do not mean to shout, to snap at them, to add to that kindling. Not in a moment when, anytime, anywhere, she might get to one of us. We're all in the same boat, yet here we are, playing the blame game. Little by little, we're falling apart, caving into the pressure to the bleak situation we're trapped in. Did that ghost mean for this to happen? To divide each of us so she can pick us off one by one right after another? Who knows? Anything's possible now, if her kind can exist. With the fire burning between us rising as high as it does now, I'm afraid, deathly afraid that the possibility might come sooner than I can figure all of this out. Fuck, I still can't think straight. I can't even believe the words coming out of my own mouth. That out of everyone, I have to be the one saying these to them. This is more their forte than mine, keeping the peace, placating everyone while I unintentionally aggravate people with badly chosen words. Funny how fast the tables have been turned after just one unfortunate incident. How am I even supposed to cope?
If we all want to get out of this mess in one piece, we're gonna have to cool our heads first.
Welcome back, J-Ben. The two cinnamon rolls are snapping at each other, and Ash almost got dragged under the bed. Before my own temper flares, I walk away and slide back into my car. If the door slams with more force than needed, I'd like it to blame it on the pent-up anger boiling up in me. I'm not even sure what or who I am angry at. The ghost? At them? Or maybe at myself for being this useless. Because despite none of them saying it, I know, goddammit! They're still counting on me. In spite of my failures, or every harsh word I've uttered, or how unbearable I can be as a friend. It's there when the tension after the argument finally breaks, and one by one they follow me and get in the car. It's in the concerned glances they shoot my way when I start the engine without a word and drive off. It's in their silence, a heavy gift, their unwavering trust. Yet, it's the one I'm more than willing to carry, even through my own exhaustion, if only to keep them safe. In the city of 68,000 strangers, they're the only ones I have left. Though in all seriousness, a good rest is still our best bet for now. Thinking with an exhausted brain is almost as good as running around in circles. We might as well throw ourselves at the ghost and be done with this. The local Irish pub may not be the best place to hang around when one hasn't slept a wink or you're stressed. More often than not, it's loud. Sometimes the music played by the drunkards grates the ears and the whole place smells like piss on a bad day. All in all, it's the very definition of the last place we'll hang out after a wakeful night, but it's safe. Or as safe as it can be with G's security watching the place. Makes it easy to find help in case you find yourself in a tight spot. The place being owned by a person I've implicitly placed my trust on provides some semblance of comfort too. Gregor, bartender G, or just G to his regular patrons, might be rough around the edges. Sometimes a bit too rough. For a man serving drinks behind the counter, but he belongs to the good folk of the city. If there's anyone in this place I can rely on to look after people important to me, it's probably him. He means well, surprisingly, despite his surly demeanor, cares to some extent. For people he likely sees only once or twice a week on a bad day. Not the best job in the world, in my opinion, but that's exactly it, isn't it? In wine, there is truth. Alcohol, in this case. It loosens the tongue. Forces one to let his or her guard down, whatever inhibitions anyone has. It all flies straight out the window after a few glasses. It has made him observant, too. Always has one or two things to say about someone or something. Most of the time it's me, opinionated ass. Customers thought a turtle was dead, but I'm pretty sure it's hibernating. The caretaker will check on it tomorrow. Yeah, it is that time of year when turtles hibernate.
The little guy needs to be buried and take a long, long nap until spring comes.
Honestly, mood. I'm jealous. I want to be a turtle. I want to be buried in the dirt, take a long ass nap, and then return once it's warm enough. Man, turtles have it great. I'm trying so hard to stay awake right now. Fair enough, Javen. Maybe in another life we can be turtles. Alas, it ain't this one. But God knows how many times I've asked for his help. When I'm met with a dead end in the case or I'm in trouble. Ooh, that does sound familiar. Thank you, Legibet. Fun fact, sea turtles always know what beach they're born on. And when it's time for mating season and to lay their eggs, they always know how to come back home to the very beach they were born on and lay the same eggs their parents did. Woo! But God knows how many times I've asked for his help when I'm met with a dead end in a case or I'm in trouble. This time's no different. As expected, the moment we show up, he's kind enough to offer us a room at the back of his shop. A simple look at my face, I don't even need to say anything. The next thing we know, he's letting us in. No questions asked. Maybe it's also for this reason why I find myself drifting towards his station hours later, after having gotten that much needed shut-eye. Newly washed drinking glasses and tumblers line the counter's surface when I enter the room. Behind the bar, G's busy wiping each of them clean, likely prepping it for tonight's use. Briefly, he glances up at me once I claim one of the empty stools and grab a rocks glass sitting closest to my elbow, turning it absent-mindedly in my palm just to keep my hands occupied, while my brain's busy still trying to make sense of everything. This turtle is called a red-eared slider, and when they're hibernate, they breathe through their butt. A handful of turtles breathe through their butt, actually. It's quite interesting. Did you know there's also a species of crab that hitches a ride on the back of a sea turtle's anus, and he eats the poopy, and he also cleans the turtle? Turtles are taxis for crabs. Yeah. Oh, is it?
Mama High!
Oh, damn, it is loud. I am desperately trying to stay awake right now, Mozzie. How are you? Even at a dead hour, with only a few patrons milling about, this place still smells strongly of liquor. Honestly, I've never grown fond of it. Glad to hear that you're doing well, Mozzie. Hope that it continues getting better. Regardless of how many times I've made a trip or sat here, on the same spot, just talking with this old man. I've never been fond of drinking in the first place. Same. Yet oddly, it's the nasty odor of the brewery that helps me clear the mind this time. Along with the lack of the establishment's usual hubbub and the occasional clinking of glasses. Even more than that, bizarre is that, though my lack of words, she doesn't say anything. Mozzie, up to anything? How are ya? Other than well. Up to anything? Although it's clear from the way his mouth has curved up in a tight frown that he has questions, a bucket load of it, he wisely keeps it shut. Instead, he simply focuses back on his work. Rinse, wipe, stash away, repeat. Going through the motions with such familiarity, it's almost a trance. Watching his precise movements quietly like this, with these thoughts swimming inside my head, it's easy to lose track of everything around me. One solid lead on this, one possible way to sort this out, but will it work? Especially if my assumption's correct and that the reason Zach was there yesterday morning was because of the curse. Something must have happened there for him to see the need to visit the place that morning. What if the couple has fallen victim to the curse too? It doesn't fall outside the realm of possibility. I've been so biased, not even thinking that they might be in danger as well. But during the open house with Isabella, they might have seen the letter and... Fuck.
Stupid, stupid, stupid. Some fucking detective I am.
He looks like an angry cat with that avatar. It's like his little scruff is all scrunched up and standing up. All his little hairs are standing up on end. I wonder if that's intentional. That's likely the moment when Cooper saw it. If the logic holds, I need to hurry there right away. And if there are answers anywhere, it would be there. It should be there, where all of this fucking mess started. It's not my only life on the line here. There are others. What happened to us? I won't wish on anyone else, no matter how much I loathe them. Or how complicated all of this has suddenly become. The letter, the woman, the mansion. And now there are the voices lacing venom inside every crevice of my mind. Murmurs that jeer, scoff, and deride whatever an opportunity presents itself.
It's because you didn't listen.
It's all your fault. Why won't you believe me?
A reminder of what I've failed to do and who I've failed. At some point, they all begun to blur together, twinning and colliding. Every horrid image and memory of her, seeking the forefront of my mind. No matter how much I refuse to remember the fear I felt then, to push it as far back as I can, the visions come to me like a dulge. And before I know it, before I can drown, another voice pulls me out of it.
You doing good there, boy?
Honestly, G-Man, no, I'm not. Wait, no, oh shit, I think that's actually his lieutenant. His hand on my shoulders, gripping it tightly and giving me a light shake. Oh no! It is the bartender. I'm so sorry that this stream is so short. Even from my usual ones. But yeah, I'm just that tired, man. I need to eat. I just need to rest. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are. And yeah, please do take care. Dude, it's only 6. I'm not even close to sleeping. Cry. I've been sleeping for like Nothing. I've been sleeping for like 16 plus hours the past few days. I actually forced myself to stream today. Yes, yes. It is at this time. If I sleep now, I won't be able to sleep later. But good luck with work, my dude, and thanks for the advice. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are. And yeah, this has been Fran the Fern, over and out. Le